Hey everyone, it's Wildjosh from Geek-Cetera. I recently saw Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you the things I liked, the things I didn't like, and maybe some things that we could see in the future. Obviously, if you haven't seen Rise of Skywalker yet, there's going to be some spoilers in this video. And if you haven't seen Rise of Skywalker yet, why haven't you? It's been out for over a week. So anyways, let's get into it.
We're going to talk about geeky things.
Woohoo! Alright, as I mentioned, Rise of Skywalker came out about a week ago, and I wanted to talk about some of the things I liked about the movie, and that's a long list. There was quite a few things I really enjoyed. Now, I'm not going to go as far as saying that this was my favorite Star Wars movie ever. That probably resides with Empire Strikes Back, but I'm going to say I really liked it. I thought it finished off the saga nicely. I liked more about it than I didn't like about it, so that's always a positive. I felt like it did a better job telling the story than TLJ did, or Last Jedi. So I was happy with it overall. It was a darker film than many of the other ones, but I didn't think it was excessively dark. So I really overall just enjoyed the film. I enjoyed seeing all the characters again. I enjoyed seeing Lando back as Billy D. Williams, and some of the new characters that they brought in, like Zori Bliss, Babu Frick, and Jaina. All good characters. There wasn't really a character that I felt was weak in the new ones. I know a lot of people had issues with Rose in Last Jedi. Thought she was kind of on the weaker side of the characters. I didn't think of any of the new characters that they introduced being weak characters. I thought they were all pretty well done. Now, some of the things that I didn't like about the movie. I did not care for the arc between Rey and Kylo. I know that there was all of a sudden like this romance that sparked. I guess they kind of were hinting at it in Last Jedi, but I didn't really care for the kiss at the end. Didn't think it needed to be there. It seemed kind of forced a little bit and odd, and Also, I'm all for killing off main characters. I think that's a good way of telling a story, but the way they did it was a little odd, where Rey was dead and then Kylo rescues her, but Rey was dead for a while and she didn't become one with the Force. But then as soon as Kylo heals her and sacrifices himself, then he like instantly became one with the Force, which I thought was kind of interesting, a little different. I don't know why Rey didn't instantly become one with the Force like what Kylo did or other Jedi have in the past, but maybe it was the Force knowing that she shouldn't be one with the Force yet. I don't know. What else? I mean, the whole idea of just the sheer amount of Star Destroyers that the First Order or the Sith Empire, whatever they were, possessed at that time was just crazy, and it made you think, where did all these come from? And I think there actually is, we do know that answer. I think in the Aftermath series they talk about a large fleet from the Empire that went off to the unexplored regions of space. So it seems like this fleet was probably already created, and then maybe it got modded a little bit or something while they were on Exegol, but it just was really big, and although that whole fleet had to be manned by people flying it, so you went from this group, this First Order Splinter Cell, I don't know what you'd call it. I guess they were really trying to rebuild the Sith Empire, which we didn't even know the Sith Empire was very strong at the time, and then all of a sudden it's massive. So it just seemed like there was a lot of build up. Another dislike, and I think this directly comes from The Last Jedi, and I am not a Last Jedi hater in any means of the word. I liked The Last Jedi. I thought it was fine. But after seeing this film and seeing how much story they had to tell in a short amount of time, and how it really felt like right out of the gate of this movie, you were being shot out of a cannon going 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it was trying to fill in so much story, that you were jumping from scene to scene to scene and planet to planet to planet, and it was a little bit of rush. So I think the reason that happened was because of The Last Jedi storyline didn't really go so much towards the overall story that they were trying to tell. And I think a simple solution for that would have been if Rian Johnson, instead of ending where he did after the Battle of Crate, had maybe cut out some stuff, because there was a lot of filler in Last Jedi that didn't need to be there. So if they had cut out some of the stuff and had the movie end with Kylo Ren going to Exegol and discovering that the Emperor is still alive. Now, had that happened, I think that it would have given this film a little bit more time to take a breath and tell a slower story that would have filled in some of the gaps that we missed instead of all the jumping around. Now, you can't go back and you can't make changes. It's too late for that. But I think that was one of the issues that I think part of the reason why a lot of critics were down on this film is just because there was so much they were trying to do in this film and in the time that they had that it felt like a rush. So had Last Jedi maybe been thought out a little bit better, or maybe the overall story, I'm guessing when they did Last Jedi that they knew that the Emperor was still alive and that Rey was a Palpatine, and that had already been figured out. I'm hoping they didn't just figure it out as they went. So if that's the case, I think the reveal of Palpatine at the end of Last Jedi would have been a better setup for this movie. But yeah. Also, leave a message or comment if you know, but I was expecting Matt Smith in this film the whole time. I was like looking, where's Matt Smith? And there was no Matt Smith. And then I looked at IMDb when I got home and realized Matt Smith wasn't even credited. So I don't know what happened. I felt like it was a known fact that he was going to be in this film, and I was surprised when I didn't see him there. So not sure what happened there. Now, where could we go from here? So this is, as Lucasfilm has said and Disney has said, that this is the end of the Skywalker saga. And really, it is. When you think about it, Kylo Ren is now dead, or Ben Solo. He was a link to Skywalker. Leia is no longer with us. She was a Skywalker. Luke is gone. He was a Skywalker. So there really is no Skywalkers left in the story. The Rey is a Palpatine. And although at the end of the story when she's asked, or at the end of the movie when she's asked what's her last name, she says Skywalker, she really is not a Skywalker. So could they continue to do films with, these main heroes, I would say, like Rey, Finn, Poe, as the main three, and Chewbacca, obviously? Could they still do films around them and say, well, it's not the Skywalker saga? I suppose they could. And I think that actually I would like to see those, because I really have kind of grown attached to some of these characters. So I'd like to see more from them. I hope it's not just that's it from them. But it made me think about maybe spin-offs that they could do. Chewbacca. We could get a Chewbacca spin-off that could be quite interesting now. Chewbacca has gotten real... He was with Han. Han passed away in The Force Awakens. He died. And he's stuck around, but now that the threat is over, could Chewbacca go off and have his own spin-off film? Or something that was teased at the end of the Rise of Skywalker was this made possible connection between Lando and Jaina. So could, or Janna, or however you say it, could Janna and Lando and Finn even maybe go off and do their own spin-off where they're maybe trying to explore the roots of where Janna and where Finn came from? And could one of them be Lando's son? Because Lando's son in the visual dictionary, Lando's daughter, actually, child, is was taken by the First Order. We got that information from the visual dictionary that came out recently. So could Janna be Lando's daughter? I think they were trying to hint at that as a possibility, but that could be a story that gets flushed out. Now, it might not get flushed out, though, in a movie, but maybe in a series for Disney Plus, or maybe in one of the comic books or a book series, it probably will get flushed out. Now, I think that's what I have for possibilities. We know that we have a Rian Johnson trilogy that's coming, still being worked on. There's a Kevin Feige work that's being worked on, and there's still stuff that they're trying to do for the Old Republic. So what are we gonna get? Could we get anything that ties in with these main characters from this film? I hope so, but I'm not sure. Can't say for certain. So let me know in the comments below what you thought of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Did you like it? Did you think it was a fitting end to the Skywalker saga, or were you disappointed like you were after you saw The Last Jedi? I'd love to hear what you think. This is we're not trying to hate on anything, but just kind of discuss and get an idea for what fans, because I really feel like the fans that I've asked about the movie, they've all enjoyed it. The critics, they were critical about it and they didn't really care for it, but the fans seemed to enjoy it and say it was a decent fitting end to the saga. So let me know what you think. And I think that's it. I'm going to close out this video by saying, if you like the video, please leave a like on it. Also subscribe to our channel, hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future videos and content. And lastly, may the Force be with you.